Well, Kara, welcome back to Shop Talk. I am so excited to be able to talk with you for this week and really learn more about what's been going on with your store. So, welcome back.
Thank you. No, I'm excited to be here again.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things happening all the time.
good, good. Well, I mean, it's been a month since we've talked. So, tell me, what are some of those things that have been happening?
I'm still gearing up for our season, which my initial goal is to kind of be almost ready by early May and to
Yeah,
have things the store full and have displays ready. But I think what I've been working on the most is still just setting the store up because I don't want to order too much inventory yet because it will just sit for like about a month here. And so I don't want to have to pay that yet when I'm having inventory just sit because April is by far our deadest month up here. It's like this one of those shoulder months is what we call them
right,
when
for everything.
not much is happening. So I'm still using this time to just set things up. So I mean, now I'm probably got too many display pieces, which I didn't think would be a problem, but now I have plenty of stuff now to work with as inventory does kind of start to trickle in. So that's been fun. And I mean, some of it I buy it on such a thrifty way. So it needs work, it needs to be tweaked, it needs to be painted, so that's kind of what I've been working on a lot of as well.
Well, you'll have things to fill up the display pieces soon. So, I'm sure while it maybe seems too much right now, you'll find a use for them.
Well, yeah, and trying to map out the store,
Yeah.
like really looking at, okay, what is going to be in this section and make sure I purchase things that are appropriate for that section and how the things will kind of sit next to each other. Do they make sense to sit next to each other? So that part is all new to me, but it's fun to kind
Good.
of be, it's like a big puzzle putting that together.
So I see behind you, you've done some work in that fixture. Can you show us a little bit of
Mhm.
what you've done there?
Yeah, so this is the whole big backdrop behind the cash wrap that my dad and I built, and then the logo brand sign that I have sitting here that will hang up in the middle,
Okay.
right, like right there. That will hang right in the middle because I'm a firm believer of your brand should be behind the cash wrap in every store, and
Yes.
so I will practice what I preach and put mine up there.
I love that when I go into stores and see that, it just is, yeah, it helps kind of from a reminder of, what the store name is. You're seeing it at
Mhm.
checkout, helps you remember to come back. It just looks really nice to be sitting right there. And yeah, I always like stores that have the brand name right at the cash wrap. So
Well, I mean, because people walk in your store and
yeah,
they're not going to remember. They just
yeah,
literally walked in the door and they're not going to remember the name of your store
yeah.
if it's their first time there. It's like you need to have that other reminder. They don't want to say, "Oh, is it this really cute store?" But I can't remember the name. You don't want that to happen to you. So
Yeah, and it'll be really nice sitting right there. That's a beautiful display piece that you have, and love that you and your dad built that. That's so cool.
mhm.
Yeah.
Out of repurposed bookshelves, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what have been some of the challenges over this past month? What are some of the things that, I mean, you're still building out. So, what have kind of been some of those that, as you're working through things?
Well, I got my POS system,
Okay,
and
great.
so I decided to go with Square.
Okay,
I've had Square when I had another storefront on Main Street. When I had my printing business, I brought Square in as my POS system because it was so easy. It was so simple. And I really like that platform. There's just not a whole lot of extra bells and whistles that go with it. And I mean, that was, 8 years ago. So it's pretty advanced now. And because I think it will almost develop the website for me
oh,
and put
good. Okay,
items in there. So I'm like, you know what? I know Square. I know it. I'm just going to stick with it. I know a lot of people do Shopify. I mean, that was the two that I was weighing it out with, but I don't know. I guess I got to go against the norm, and
yeah,
I went with Square. But now I'm learning the inventory part, and so I'm teaching myself how to put all my products in there because I want to be able to just scan them. I want everything to have a UPC code.
good.
So that anybody that works here, it's just really easy for them to just check people out and not
Yeah.
have to worry about knowing any prices and stuff. So I'm in the process of just like plugging in stuff on a regular basis,
Hmm.
and getting everything tagged. I mean, and that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of fun in a way. I mean,
Oh,
I
good.
don't
Okay.
dread it. I'm actually enjoying it. Because then once it's in there, then I am waiting for my label printer to come, and then it's just going to be like print. It
Okay.
just, you just say print, and it's going to print all these little price tag labels for me. And it's going to make inventory management, I think, a lot easier to do it that way. And then I also have a couple consignment people. I have 3 different consignment people so far. And to put their items then like that in, when it comes time to pay them, it's just going to be easy to just call up their
Hmm.
category and know exactly what I have to pay them, instead of trying to keep a separate record of what was sold of theirs and trying to figure out the percentages. So I'm looking forward to just having that system doing it, all that work for me. So
That's so, yeah, it's with every product you're manually entering in the items. Is it easy enough for with that if you wanted to change the price? If you raised it or put something on sale, would that automatically change that you wouldn't have to reprint barcodes, or how would that work?
I think you could easily change the pricing, and then you can easily just print one tag.
Okay.
It's a separate little printer, and this is, I mean, this is what I'm hoping it will
Yeah,
do.
right, yeah.
I can just say print it, and it will just spit out one new label for me. And then
Okay.
I can just relabel it if I want that price to be on there. But if there's a discount to it, there's discount categories that will connect right up with it once you scan it in too. So, I mean, it's a trial and error, but
Yeah.
I'm another thing that I'm just like, I like figuring things out. I
Yeah.
like, it's a challenge. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of fun to do that.
And I like that, with so much custom product that you will have and be able to print on
Mhm.
demand and things like that. Yeah, you'll be able to have that category really built out into the Square platform and have a lot of your merchandise be able to work off of that.
Well, and I think, and just checking out to be so quick.
Yeah,
I don't want any delay to be in the checkout process. I don't like when things aren't priced. If I go into a store and if there's something not priced, I'm not gonna ask.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know I do
I
the
just
same.
don't ask.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, too bad.
I like it, but I don't know. It's something I don't want to bother them or
Well,
whatever
I'm
it is.
just,
But
yeah, it is. It's just like, I didn't come in here to really want to have a conversation. So I'm just
yeah.
like going to move on to the next thing. So I try to definitely make sure that everything is priced. And then, my daughters are going to be working here
Okay.
this summer. So it's just going to be easy for them. So they don't have to try and think of and remember pricing or find the
Yeah.
stickers or, I have got my little, scanner. So it should be nice and easy to just scan every item.
Good. So, what are some of the things that you've learned from in this past month as you're, again, diving into more, and maybe it's from the inventory system, or what are, in all of the hats that you're wearing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm learning things all the time, but it's like not until things start selling, and then
Okay,
like to learn to like read those reports, and when it will start telling you, what you're selling the most of, or what you have low inventory of. Will I know if those are working for me the way that I want them to?
gotcha.
And
Okay,
so it's not like I can put things necessarily into practice yet,
yeah,
but um, I'm hoping, things will have good reminders, and by setting it up now before the inventory arrives, then I'm hopefully ahead of the game and not scrambling to do a whole bunch of backlog.
yeah.
So I'm really trying to be due diligent on like, all right, I have a whole box of dog toys here. I don't even want to unpackage them until I can literally tag them at the same time, try
Okay,
to come up with the systems. They always say, what is that? Was it Atomic Habits or something? You always fall
yeah.
back to the top of your systems or the process, something like that.
Okay,
It's like
yeah,
you're only as good as your systems are, pretty
yeah.
much. You can never rise above if you don't have a system. So I'm kind of trying to use that method. It's like I gotta have processes, and that's probably one of my weaknesses has always been being a creative. Like I don't even want. I was like maybe I should show my desk right now, but no, I'm not going to.
I always say
Um,
the devil's in the details, and that's why I stay away from them. I just want
yeah,
the big picture. I want to have the creative, and then the little details
yeah.
always scare me. So
I mean, I have a mental organizer, and creatives just throw things around, even though I do
yeah,
know where everything is, but I'm not known for having a good process.
yeah,
So that's what the part that I'm really trying to be
yeah.
diligent on.
Good. Well,
Set them
that's a
down.
learning there too. So
Yeah.
learning about that, getting everything set up and how you want your system to be. That's a huge learning. So
Well, and I think listening to a lot of those podcasts,
yeah,
listening to the Savvy Shopkeeper and
good.
Rooted in Retail, I mean, both of them, I mean, they are always talking about their processes and their reports. And so it's like I want to be able to generate reports so
Yeah,
that things will show me, because you think you know everything. And oh yeah, I think I know everything about what's selling and what's not. But it's amazing on some of those podcasts, they'll say, well, yeah, I thought that was my number one seller, but when I printed out my report, it was something totally different.
right.
So it's I don't want to miss that kind of information.
Yeah, and that'll be really interesting. And as you dive into that and see, from a margin standpoint, that this might be your best seller, but you're not making as much money off of it, or
Hmm.
really being able to see those things, and we're being able to analyze the business from that aspect.
Well, yeah, and even just like the little things that are on your counter, it's those are such little price items. They're,
Yeah,
a couple dollars, but you're going to sell quantities of those.
yeah,
And so that might end up being a huge chunk of your revenue, even though it's just a couple dollar item. It's like I don't want to get those things get lost in the shuffle
yeah,
and not be accounted for. Um, so it's like learning to be able to just tweak things ever so slightly could probably really make a big
yeah.
difference.
And those
So,
those items are the ones, I mean, you can add a dollar or two on and no one
mhm.
notices.
Right.
I
Yeah.
love buying stickers wherever I go, just kind of have a sticker from the towns that I visited. And it's interesting the wide range of pricing. Some it might be $1.99 and some up to $5.99. I still buy it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't,
Exactly.
you can add on a couple dollars there and it's, it'll be, you can get the good margin off of it.
What do they call them? Cart fillers. Is that what they call them?
Okay.
Cart
Yeah.
filler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you have a background in branding. Wanted to ask you about how you are building your brand. What are you doing kind of within your community to get your name out there and to let people know about your store?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I designed my own logos, and I've created kind of what my brand story is. Um, and I work a lot with the visuals. I'm a very much of a visual motivated branding person. And so because I'm also a sign maker, I'm going to be putting up a new sign once the temperature warms up, because right now it's just a banner. I mean, granted, a lot of people might not notice the difference between a banner or it being cut out dimensional letters up there, but
Okay.
I will, and I'll
Sure.
know
You will.
I'll
Yeah.
know the difference, and people will know. Well, she's the sign lady. She better have a nice sign. So I'll
Fair
pretty
enough.
much,
That's yeah.
yeah.
And I guess from your perspective, what would, for other new retailers, why the sign versus a banner? Why would you want those different things?
I mean, and I mean, I definitely come from the type of signs that I made were always dimensional. There was always depth to them. I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of any flat signs, because it doesn't convey the professionalism as much as something that's dimensional. And I call them also interactive,
Okay.
because it causes your eye to just take that extra long pause
Mm.
to really look at it, because it's got shadows and it's got depth to it, and it's a little bit more maybe handmade, so maybe it will draw people in more. And I don't do anything white square with your
Okay.
logo on it. I don't
Yeah.
do anything that's just a white square. So everything that I've ever done is always has had a custom shape to it, and many layers to it. It's just it's the I guess, like, for definitely in a gift industry too, or in a small town like this, it's you want quaint.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
want quaint, handmade feel, that just goes along then with like these great historic buildings that we have. It's
Yeah.
just they tie together. And I did do a lot of sandblasted signs. If people know, like, the sandblasted signs are definitely dimensional. They look like wood, like a wood
Okay.
grain. They've been carved. So even my sign being on an old building is just going to be just at least just dimensional letters cut out and attached to the building. But nothing, more than that, because the building has so much decorative elements to itself. But then putting your logos on the windows is another must that I have. And I've done numerous windows here in our town and put their logos on them. I just think because when people are walking the street, they're not looking up.
Right.
They're not looking up at your sign. So now you got to grasp their attention at eye level, which is what the windows are.
Yeah.
So again, at least if they're passing by, they might catch the name of your business.
That store experience starts outside, right? So that's the first thing that they see. So yeah, just if you just have the sign on kind of above the door, no one's walking around like this. They're not, walking with their neck craned. So you have to have something there. You have to be able to catch their eye and really start that experience, let them know about the store before they can even enter.
Right. I mean, you can have, good window displays too,
Yeah.
is going to
Yep.
attract people, but even having your logo on the windows that they have to even look through to see what's in the windows, it doesn't hinder it at all. It's like, it's so subliminal that they just have to kind of look through that, and then they're looking at your window displays. But
It's still
first
there.
and foremost is your logo is
Yeah.
right there in front of their face. And I mean, and that's another thing too, is like, just to let people know, when you do put graphics on your windows, it should always be white. It should
Okay.
always be light colored and always on the outside of the windows. I've always wanted to just write a little handbook on visual branding stuff. And that's one of the things, is like, vinyl graphics always need to be on the outside of the windows, and it always needs to be a light color, not black. Sometimes people think window, oh, it's clear, it should be black. And no, you pretend like the window is black. And so you put light colored letters on it.
And that's to help people kind of see through that, so they can see the window displays and see into the store.
Because I mean, when you're outside, everything's reflecting. Everything's reflecting off the windows. And so that's one reason it needs to be on the outside, because otherwise the reflection is going to just completely wash it out and you won't see it. So if you put the graphics on the outside, it will stop the reflection and they'll see it. But then usually if you look, I'm looking at the buildings across the street right now, and to me, all their windows look black.
Okay.
But it's like you have to literally look at it and go, what color is that window? Because in our minds, we think windows are clear.
Right.
Just
depending on reflection, depending on how the sun is hitting it.
Well, and just in general, windows are clear. Trees are brown. Well, no, they're not. They're actually gray if you get really technical, so it's like literally looking at it as not a window. What color is it? And they're always going to be dark. You look at the window and it's black. So, okay. So then it has to be white letters.
Have something white on it.
Yeah. Interesting. In order for it to stand out. Yep.
Great. So signage, brand, for branding around town. You're doing anything else around town to kind of get your name out there, or let people know that your store's open?
Well, I mean, another thing I do is a sidewalk sign.
Okay.
That's another thing that will go up front. I have kind of my own designed sidewalk sign that I use, and I've made some for quite a few businesses here in town. Again, it has that quaint small town feel. I'm just not a fan of like the mass produced plastic base looking stuff. So, me and my dad have designed a nice wooden sign that you can either have a chalkboard on it, you can have interchangeable sign faces on it, and it just has a little bit, small town feel, and it's heavy. It's another thing is you have to have weight. And I think we might even put some tiny little flower boxes on mine too, to just give it, because again, that's that first impression of people walking by your store.
Yeah. And it sounds like it's a fairly big sign if you're able to have flower boxes on it as well.
I mean, no, usually they're like 2 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
Roughly, so it's gonna be a little, just like a little box.
Kind of little cute flower box.
Some marigolds or something in it, just, I mean, and that's the other thing too, is like I will probably have flower boxes outside of the windows or planters or something. It's like, that's another mandatory thing for me, is that you have to have flowers on the outside of your store, especially in little tourist towns like this, because it just shows life and it shows ongoing care. So I think it sends a good message.
good. Yeah, that the experience starts outside. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
showing that, yeah, you care about your store, you care to change the flowers out, you care to have the sign out front. That's another thing, people don't always walk by looking at the store. So
Mhm.
to have that sign there that they almost stops them so they can see the name of the store, they can see maybe about, kind of get some personality from it. I've seen some stores do really well with it. You mentioned a chalkboard,
Yep.
writing different things on that get people to stop, get people to laugh. That
Mhm.
just kind of you're able to change that up, or even the interchangeable letters on it, able to do different things that can be really fun and really creative and help build the brand of who you are.
It's an outdoor salesman in
Yeah,
a way.
exactly.
It's like
Yeah,
the greeter. It's
yeah,
definitely your greeter. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. So that's I think is definitely a must. And then people even just driving by. I mean, I put out an open banner that I have every time I'm open, but even when the sidewalk sign is out, then people going by know, oh, they're open
They're
because the
open, right?
sidewalk sign is
Yeah.
so
It is
another
a good,
indicator.
like, yeah, even just obvious, like we're open, the sign's out,
Mhm.
it's welcoming you in.
Yeah, for sure.
You'd
So
mentioned
and then as far as I mean the branding around town, I haven't done too much yet,
okay,
because I'm not fully
still
ready.
gearing up, right? Yeah,
Still gearing up, but I think once I start, then the social media part will definitely help get the brand out
okay,
there.
yeah,
And it is a small town. People are very curious as it is.
yeah,
So, there are a lot of people coming in just because it's like, oh, I've never seen anything in here before. So it's kind of just a little bit of people hearing it from other people or just curiosity. So
yeah.
right now it's enough. Right now it's
Okay.
enough.
You had mentioned social media, and I know our tourist town. Are you doing things right now through social media to help kind of other people that might be coming to in the Ely, sorry, in the summertime, be able to learn about you?
Well, I do have, I mean, because I started this like a year ago and as
Yeah.
a pop up and then had the summer pop up, I have a big email list
Oh,
already,
good, good,
so I will be probably the next week or so, launch my whole email campaign. That's another thing I'm just
excellent.
kind of developing, and I want to
Yeah,
be able to do it when I can be consistent and at least, once a week be sending out an email showcasing a product or letting them know we're open and hours and all that stuff. So I'm a firm believer in email
yeah,
marketing,
yeah.
using your email list because that's the one you own. But then the social stuff will start then as well. Hopefully, if I'm working with Crystal's group from
Good.
Rooted in Retail, and she'll kick me in gear and get me started on that. I will start that too because I know I had just learned, like, through with Facebook, you can put on your location something in there so that when tourists are traveling, when they get into your area, then it will show up on their feed.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Yeah,
location trigger something. So it's like, well, yeah, when people are here
that's a
and
nice
they're
feature.
just having to be scrolling, they'll see
Okay.
hopefully a store that's here in town. Because I mean, how do you reach them otherwise? Because you don't know where they're coming from. But
Right, right. Uh, Interesting. Okay, so I didn't know that was a feature within Facebook, and that
it is,
probably
and I can't think of
extends
the
to.
name of it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, some like geo fencing when you're in the area, you start popping up in their feed more, or letting it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, very
Which
cool.
I thought was kind of cool. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay, that's perfect. I will definitely implement something like that.
yeah.
So.
And I did want to ask you about, the email list, because that I think is
Mhm.
so important, and love that you've already got an email list built out because of pop-ups and things that you've been doing. But how did you start building your email list? I think a lot of retailers that are starting out maybe are a little intimidated for asking for an email, or so how did you start building your email list?
I'll show you this here.
Okay.
This is it.
Yeah.
So
So you
I
just had
mean,
people write down.
I just literally had the clipboard is always sitting by the cash register, and it just says stay updated on all things Ely Mercantile.
Okay.
And sign up for email notifications on events, store openings, product releases, and sales. And
Nice.
so
So it's
then
just that's an opt-in. People write
yep,
it down and
yeah, this is their opt-in. So yeah, I have, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 pages
oh my gosh. Okay.
already of, a good email
For those
base
that are
of people
listening
that
and
have
not
been,
seeing, there's probably 20 per page, I'm guessing, roughly on
oh,
there.
at least, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a good couple hundred emails, and that gives a great start to be able to send out information. And you're exactly right. That is the list that you own. That social media followers are great, but it shows up to like 1 to 3% everything that
Mhm.
you post to see that. So you actually get to control that. You own the email list and who all will see your information. So
Well, and I think in being able to talk to them in the sense because they were already in the store.
yes,
And
yeah,
so having that tone of like, oh, well, we already know each other,
yeah,
we've already met, so it takes away that icebreaker a little bit.
yeah.
Like I'm not just randomly talking to I don't know who. It's like, well, no, you've been in here, you know what I have. So that makes me feel more comfortable
Yeah,
that
and they've shown an
it's
interest in your products already.
yeah,
You've already, and they took the time in your case to write down their email address that they wanted to be part of this. And it's not just getting the email address because of the Square, some integration there where
right.
you're able to grab their email off of the credit card. They've taken the time to actually write down their email address. So that's, with
Yeah, and
them.
I didn't do it with I didn't have any incentive
Yeah,
either. I didn't say sign up for an email and give, you get a coupon or anything like that. I haven't done anything like that
yeah,
yet, which I'm not opposed to, but this was just kind of more just organically built on
yeah.
its own. I think people were they were intrigued. So I think this is my list of people that are my target people.
Good,
So,
good. Yeah. So
but then
what?
again, too, like anywhere in the store is the brand. It's like
Absolutely, right.
anything that I do, it's gonna have the logo on it too, just for other people to realize any little store signage that you have, whether it's the hours and anything should have the name of the business on
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, store signage outside. Where else are you? I mean, the email sign up sheet. Where else are you putting your brand so that people are constantly seeing it?
Well, and besides behind that it'll be behind me, I have a couple display pieces that like a big wood box, it's more of a shelf to put things on,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna stencil, Ely Mercantile on the front of
Perfect.
it.
Yeah.
And another display piece has kind of a header piece that just has room that I might just put the monogram on there,
Okay. Yeah.
just, hinted out in different places. And then I do sell clothing. I sell the sweatshirts. I sell sweatshirts that say the Merc or Ely Mercantile on them, or bags that have the Merc on them. And we sell stickers that say the store and buttons. Um, what else do I have? I mean, I think when I go to tourist towns, I don't necessarily want to get necessarily like the touristy trap stuff. If I go to a really good store, a really good restaurant, I want their shirt.
Right. Yeah.
I want their sweatshirt. And so, I mean, I had a guy in here and he's like looking at all the lake sweatshirts but they weren't really from here. They were just visiting. And I had on my Merc sweatshirt. He's like, well, I want that one. And I'm like, okay, and so I made him up
So,
one of mine, so
perfect.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. You
So I
didn't
need
sell
to
it off
have
your back.
those.
That's yeah. You,
Yeah,
you made him
well,
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I need to have more of a stock. I think that will come, that people will want that too. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope to be that kind of store. So I just need to develop my inventory and just have that stuff because it's a pride thing too. It's just showing pride in my store.
But that is one thing I love about you with the branding background, that you know that it needs to have a consistent brand and have it all throughout. So people are looking at it, people can buy it, and being able to have that mind behind building out your store, which I think
Yeah,
is
I mean, even like these are some candles that I'm going to carry, and I'm doing a lot of products private labeled
okay.
as well because I want to have my own brand on
Yeah.
them. And then again, it just helps make the store look cohesive. I still will put the maker's name on my label. And because I'm a printer, I can print my own labels
Okay.
too. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes it easy. But I'll label things with my own design that matches kind of the whole brand vibe. I'll put the name of the maker on there. But like these candles, these are made in whiskey glasses.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's an awesome man brand that I'm going to carry. And I'm going to etch my logo on the
Okay.
glass
Oh, wow. Yeah.
before I sell it so that when they're done and they can use this as a whiskey glass, now it will have the Merc
I like
etched
that.
into. And
Yeah.
etching is, it's really, I mean, it's really easy. It's just
Okay.
like a stencil and a cream that you put
Okay.
on there that etches it.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay. I was thinking that you were taking like I don't know, a diamond saw or something and cutting
or
into the glass.
sandblasting
Yeah.
it or something. No, there is a nice, easy way to do it. That's
Okay,
it's
good.
very subtle. But at least it's something to then now they'll always see that when they open their cupboard. There's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's that Merc glass in there. So
And then if they
kind of,
want you like multiple of them, then they know where to get them. They would continue having that. Uh,
yeah, if they want
yeah.
a whole set,
They
if they
want a
want a
set.
whole bar set.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't bring it in yet. Oh, I also have like these we're up here in bug country. It's like mosquito haven and black flies. Well, I've got these super nice fly swatters,
Okay.
and they're wire, and the slapper is actually leather. It's like it's like heirloom quality, fly swatter.
Okay. There
But
you go.
there's a space in the middle, and I'm literally gonna laser my logo
Perfect.
on
Perfect.
the fly
Yeah.
swatter. Who would think that besides somebody in Minnesota to.
But it's still something like having your brand everywhere. I mean, that is so beneficial.
Yeah, any product that I can think of, whether it's putting a band, like I'm gonna carry socks, like
Yeah.
retro striped socks, just because it's kind of part of my brand. And I'll make the little bands that go around the socks just so that it says, the Mercantile sock. It's like.
That is one thing I think a lot of retailers are sometimes hesitant or maybe afraid to take that extra step to brand their store in that way. That I don't
Mhm.
want to take away from the brand of the sock or brand of the candle, that it's that product that I'm just selling the product, but having your own tags on it, having your own band on it, your own logo, again, that's so good for helping people remember where they got it, and
And
especially
that's
if they give it
exactly
as a
it. It's
gift
like
too.
you don't have to come here and buy something that says Ely per se, but
Yeah.
maybe if you just buy this pair of socks and the packaging says the
Yeah.
Mercantile, now you're just always going to remember where you bought that
Right.
pair of socks.
Right.
I mean, it's just a pair of socks, but
Yeah.
it's at least something that they'll take home with them. Maybe they're not the type that buys souvenirs, but.
And, yeah, again, if they give it as a gift to someone, yeah, if they're in the community, they
Mhm.
give it. I know where I can go get another one. I know where I can buy that too. So
Yeah, I was dog sitting for a friend of mine, and she left me this gift on the counter, and it was these awesome chocolate balls that you put it into a mug and you pour hot milk over it and it
okay,
melts into hot chocolate.
yeah,
I thought they were beautiful,
yeah,
but nowhere on that packaging was the name of the company.
right, okay. So no,
It's
and
like
so you don't know where to
I,
go get it, where to order
no,
it from, where to buy it in the store.
no.
Yeah,
So it's like I mean I can always ask my friend, but you shouldn't have to. It's like look at all of your products as being a gift to someone,
yes,
so that they would know exactly where to go and get it
yeah.
if they want more. And so that's
I think
another
that,
great
yeah.
reason to private label.
Yeah, for retailers, finding ways to be able to label your products, be able
Mm-hmm.
to, if it's from apparel, being able to put your tag on it, be able to, have something that you can that people know that it's coming from your store.
Yeah, I mean I make my own tags.
Yeah, great.
Of course I do.
Which again, from a branding perspective, I think that is advanced for a retailer. Many do not do that. Again, they just go with the tag that's on there that came from the wholesaler or came from wherever they got it from. So to have
Yeah, I
that,
mean so I'm trying, and I think with the whole Camp Ely brand that I've
yeah,
created, I want it to be remembered, so it's a nice hang tag, but I am also going to order some letterpress tags cut into the shape of, my main brand badge,
okay, yeah,
so I'm getting some letterpress ones, which are, nice, thick press tags. That's also going to be my business card
okay,
though,
oh yeah,
too.
okay,
So if people want to ask or they want to take something with the website address on it, it's going to be this little letterpress tag per se that will be in a basket by the counter. So, always having a card that you can send with them with, even if you don't even have a website, at least have your address on there. So maybe
yeah.
that can get stuck into a bag that is being given as a gift.
with the candles, is that a local company that you're sourcing them from, or where are you getting those?
No, I do have some. I have one candle supplier that's local, and she made us like a signature scent that
Oh,
is made
wonderful.
just for me.
Good,
And
good.
and we have two of them, a winter one and a summer one, and then she's bringing just some other ones that are hers that she sells, but she
Yeah,
says are good sellers, but I'm just literally going to rebrand them.
yeah.
I mean, I can name it whatever I want, come up with another scent name for it, but it's just to carry more variety. These ones, these whiskey ones, this is from a company in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Um I'm really wanting to have a men's section.
Good.
So
Yeah.
men have a place to definitely come and shop. And so this was from a company called Ely Mercantile. And I might have come across them because of the whole mercantile. I think they
Sure.
showed up
Yeah.
on my Pinterest feed or something, but they have a store, but then they make their own products.
Okay.
And it's right up my alley of the style and
Yeah.
the feel. So they have candles and they have colognes.
Okay.
Um, and the other thing that they sell, but they aren't going to wholesale it because it's too expensive. But it gave me an idea. Is they have it's whiskey soaked campfire jerky.
Okay.
And so he sent me a bag of it so I could try it, but they
Yeah.
won't wholesale it. But they literally have a guy down there that makes and smokes this jerky, and they have to go pick it up, and then they have to cut it, and then they package it, and then they literally make the little bags, which I can do all that.
Yeah.
But this jerky, it is so good. I mean, I don't, this is all I have left because it's so good, but I need to save it because I need to find my own jerky maker.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I need to, give him that and say, hey, can you make this? Because especially in their market, and this is how I'm looking at it for mine too, is when that when that stuff's in stock, then you can put it out on social media like, okay, jerky's in
Yes.
stock today,
Mm.
but it's not always in stock. It's going to
Has
be kind of
kind of
like,
small batch creation of
yep,
it. Yeah.
get it when you can type of
Yeah.
thing. And I mean, their whole idea of the packaging and just, men liking jerky. And I mean, these are very similar to the tags I make. They
Okay.
had all these
Yeah.
cute little tags. I just thought, well, that's a great way then on social media to let the men know, like, okay, it's jerky day. You got to come in and get it until it's gone.
Yeah.
Um, and just the whole whiskey soaked, or I don't know. I loved it. It's super good. So
And
I'm searching for my own maker
yeah,
now.
when you initially said, yeah, I want to have a men's section, my first response was good. I feel so often there's not men aren't great shoppers. We do not do a
Mhm.
good job of kind of going from shop to shop, but typically are loyal to the shops where we find things that we like and we'll keep going back to. And so having a section for men,
Mhm.
and being able to have products that not a woman's store that you can pick up something for your husband or boyfriend, but having it like an actual men's section and having something for them. Yeah, you get consistent customers from that. I love the idea of having kind of the social media. It's out, you come and get it.
Yeah.
And people will know to kind of flock in for that especially. So
It's a
love that.
yeah, it'd be like a limited supply whenever I
Yeah,
do get it, because I'm probably not going to be able to keep it in stock because it's probably not maybe a huge money maker, but it's that draw.
sure, right.
It's the
And
draw
while
to
they're
get
there,
people.
then they pick up something else too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, anybody that I've had try that, and it's so cool. I mean, they cut it into little bite-sized pieces even.
Okay.
I mean, all of it was just so well done. I'm like, I want this. And so I have a line on a couple people that are interested in
Very cool.
smoking stuff for me.
Yeah.
So
And I
I'll get
love the
to
the
that.
signature scent idea as well. I'm such a
Mhm.
big advocate of that, of having that and working with a local person that can make that for you, and that you have it in store. The store has a smell to it. You kind of connecting to the senses that people
Yes.
remember that when they come in. Also, food gets the salivatory glands going that they want to buy more when they're walking around. The sense, the smells going. Yeah, like it, you can buy it, and having the two to rotate. I love that too.
Well, and that's like what part of the whole brand thing too. It's like you have to have a scent and you have to have sound when you
Okay.
walk into the store. I'm like, so I always have that scent is in, we also sell them as wax melts.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a candle
Yeah.
burning,
Nice. Yeah.
but so when I come in, that wax melt thing starts going, and every time someone opens that door, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it smells so good in
Smell
here."
it. Yeah.
You
You
got to
can
hit
buy
them
it
with
right.
that,
Yeah.
and then you got to hit them with sound. Like, I
Yes.
don't like shopping in stores that are dead quiet, because then I feel like I can't even move because I'm so loud. It's like
The
you got to
floorboards
have
creak
music.
and everything. It just, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
It's just awkward, and so it's just like you have to have music going,
yeah,
just to break it. And or if the two customers want to be, whispering together, they don't feel like you're
right.
eavesdropping on everything they're saying. It's all encompassing. So yeah, I have music going all the time, and the scents
Yeah.
also going.
Huge proponent of, yeah, engaging the senses and just
Mhm.
keeping the brain active as they're going and shopping and looking at things. And again, yeah, there's some, great scientific reporting on, yeah, if people are smells and taste, they shop longer, they stay in stores, they buy more. So yeah, getting things like that, they're it's working in your favor. So
Good. Well,
yeah.
and then so my where I live is a very much Slovenian and Finnish
Okay.
ethnic background. And so that's a couple of things I want to be focusing on in the store is our ethnic backgrounds,
Yeah.
is making, I think I mentioned tea towels with recipes of
Yes.
ethnic things that
Yeah.
people make up here. Well, I just Googled Slovenian gifts, and I found a maker that makes a potitsa candle. And potica is the savored Slovenian pastry up
Oh,
here.
okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Super labor intensive to make it. Not many people really can make it because it's really hard to do, but my grandma made it all the time.
Oh,
And it's a walnut pastry with many, many layers. Well, this woman has a candle of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need this candle. And she makes candles that smell like krofa, which is another Slovenian baked goods.
okay.
So, I mean, I just hit the mother load.
Yeah.
I just hit the
That's
mother load on ethnic things. She just emailed me back now this morning, and she's so excited. And then she says that she also has some Finnish scents
very cool.
of
Yeah.
funnel breads, and there's I know that she had some other fun Finnish scents that
Yeah.
she will offer too. And I'm like, perfect. Like, I mean, give me 3 dozen. Like, that Petitza candle is going to fly off the shelves. Like, I've never seen it, never heard of it. It's going to be a big winner.
It sounds like harder to make and probably, I don't know. I'm just thinking, but if you were able to also sell the pizza along, in the store as well, having something that they're smelling it, they're getting that sense, and oh my gosh, yes, of course I'm going to buy one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't.
Petitza, if you want a log of Petitza, I mean, just a little like mini bread pan, it's $18
Oh my gosh. Okay.
for one little thing. I mean, it's not cheap when you do find a good maker, and we do
Yeah.
have a few good ones up here. But to now
Yeah.
have
Maybe.
that
Yeah.
candle and
Partnering
made by a Slovenian.
with a baker in town or something that might be okay. You like this, yeah, then go check out. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, we have a farmer's market, and then they sell it at the farmer's market.
okay, yeah,
So that's a good place. But this woman she's a Slovenian woman and she makes the candles herself. So she knows, what that scent should be. I mean, it's just I don't even know what the ingredients would be to make that
yeah.
scent, but I'm so excited,
Good.
to do that. And I'll probably, definitely private label them, and, give her the credit on the label as well, though. But to make it a very Ely Mercantile product
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that.
It's just,
that
yeah, it's home. It's, yeah, the smell of your grandma's house.
oh,
It's,
absolutely.
yeah, kind of hitting on that nostalgic, the Minnesota, yeah, everything. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I could see if she could make a candle that smells like blood sausage.
Oh, okay.
That's like what their house always smelled like,
That's the
was
other.
total, Slovenian thing too that my dad loves, is
Yeah,
blood sausage. So maybe that would be the man candle,
that
is
that could be
the
the man candle, exactly.
yeah.
So for the next upcoming month, we're getting into May is kind of the beginning of the summer season.
Mhm.
What are kind of plans? What's in the works as you're getting towards May?
Well, it's just, getting all these systems in play. I want the email system up and running. I got to have the inventory up and running, being easy to just enter things as they come in. Getting the social media on a regular
Yeah, good.
basis. Um, and then I'll have more open hours then as well. going forward. So it's just, I don't know what to expect. I
Yeah.
mean, I talked to some other store owners because I went and did some local shopping the other weekend to see what products they had, just to make sure I don't double up.
Good.
I don't
Okay.
want to carry anything that anybody else already carries. And I only found one thing that, like, a certain type of dishes that I really liked, but this one store already has them, and I was like, okay, I've got a second
Okay.
style that I had
Yeah.
in mind. It's I just don't why I want people when they go shopping to every store to be a different scenario.
Have different. Yeah.
And so I was talking to her, just about, like, I don't know how the season's going to be, and like, I'm very optimistic, so
Yeah. Yeah.
they we'll see how it goes.
And ideally, it'll be, warmer summer and be able to have a lot more people in the lakes and in the area. So, yeah, it'll be a good summer.
I'll try to plan an event too,
Okay,
maybe
good.
like in June, kind of not necessarily grand opening, but some kind of like a launch,
Yeah.
little party, lemonade stand type thing,
Beginning of
just.
summer kickoff, something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the neighborhood almost.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Excellent.
welcome myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Sometimes you have to take that initiative and do it. So
Yeah.
well, I'm excited for you for this next month, and learning all about what's going on. I know you've been working with some of our partners, Retail Mavens
Mhm.
and Crystal Media. So next time we're on, we be able to learn what you've been learning and how you've been implementing some of the things that they've been talking about. So I'm excited for
Yeah,
that.
for sure. I'll talk to Retail Mavens again next week. And the one talk I had with her was very informative, and it's getting into that bookwork stuff that
Sure.
I am
Yeah.
not good at.
It's
And she's going to give me a more of a harsh reality on things. And
that's
so
okay.
I will definitely share. I'll definitely share what I
Sometimes
learned.
you need someone to give the harsh reality or the little kick in the pants to understand what how to make the business work. So
Know your numbers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
you
try
have
to
to,
remember.
right?
Yeah.
It can't just all be fun and visual. We have to have the business side too. So
What? It can't just be making fun displays and,
oh
stacking wood and yeah,
no,
I'm getting real. I'm getting
yeah.
real.
Well, good. I'm excited to follow along with you. So
Awesome.
yeah. Well,
Great.
Kara,
Thank you.
thank you so much. And again, yeah, we will talk again in at the beginning of May. So
Great. Thank
all right.
you.
All right. Thank you.